everyone, you're watching Shalin's Academy and we are here together to discuss on a new topic, that is role of parliament in a democratic country. Hang on, are you new on my channel? Go and subscribe my channel to get the more educational video and you get it daily. So hit the subscribe button, like it, share it and keep supporting. Who gives the power to the government to take decisions and implement law? The answer to this question depends on what type of government is in that particular country. In democracy, supreme power is in the hand of people and is exercised directly by them by casting the votes. They elect their leaders by casting a vote. The elected leaders of representative form the government. In a democracy, the government has to give the clarification and provide the reason to the decision undertaken. That means the people give the vote, and by giving the vote, they understand that and they decide who will run their country, and that is the true meaning of democracy. The other form of government is monarchy. In monarchy, there is only one king and queen, and they all together take the decision with the help of council of ministers or advisors. So, in monarchy, there is a kingship rule, and in democracy, there is a people's rule. So, the most important characteristics of democracy is the sole power is not in the hand of one group, but the power is in each and every citizen's hand. Means सब लोग equally बराबर हैं, they can cast the vote and they are equally important without thinking about their job, caste, religions. So the word democracy in Gujarati is known as Lokshahi, and democratic government is for the people, by the people, of the people. It means the welfare of the people is the main aim of the government. Democracy is run by the people as a representative selected by the people by casting the vote. Let's understand in a better way. I already told you the form of government, that is monarchy and democracy. Monarchy means kingship rule and democracy means people's rule. In that there is two division, presidential government and parliamentary. In presidential government there are the two sections are there, unitary government and federal, and that is called the central and correlated political system. But in parliamentary government there is unitary and state government. Let's see how is the parliament formed. India has adopted a parliamentary form of democracy. The parliament is the supreme institution in India. Parliament of India consists of the president and two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. Lok Sabha is known as the lower house and Raj Sabha is known as the upper house. There are total members in Lok Sabha is 545, and out of it there are 26 seats for Gujarat. If you talk about Raj Sabha, there are total members are 250, and out of this 11 seats are nominated for Gujarat. Indian Parliament formed the post independence, and that is symbol of trust by the people for the people. And the main feature of decision making in democracy is the people consent, means they are thinking about the people, and that is a real power of parliament. Let's see the function, that is the control the government and provide information and guide them wherever they need it, and to make the law and make changes in them whenever it is required. How is Lok Sabha formed? The election for the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha, are conducted in same way. Lok Sabha elections are held every 5 years. Each constituency is represented by one elected member in the parliament. The candidates who contest for the seat in parliament are usually active in the various political parties. The elected candidate is known as MP, that is member of parliament, and all these elected members collectively form the Lok Sabha. Let's know how is the ruling party formed. After the election of Lok Sabha, party-wise list of all the members of parliament is formed. From this list, it becomes very clear how many members from which political parties are there. If any party want to form the government, then there should be a majority of elected members from that party. After the election, the leader of the party or coalition, means mixing of two parties which has the clear majority, forms the government, and that the head of that party will be the prime minister in the Lok Sabha, and the prime minister of India is the head of the ruling party. Let's know how the Rajya Sabha is formed. The elected member of legislative assembly of each state elect the members for Rajya Sabha, and there are 250 members in Rajya Sabha, and out of them 238 are directly elected, but remaining 12 members are nominated by President of India. The Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. It never gets dissolved. One third of the member of Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years. The Rajya Sabha represents the state of our country. The Rajya Sabha is also propose a bill that is called the advisory bill. It is important to have the review of Rajya Sabha before passing any law or any bill. This House of Parliament review the bill and passed by the Lok Sabha. Thus, the role of Rajya Sabha is very important. The person who presides the meeting is chairman, and when the parliament is in session, at the beginning of the day, the time for question hour is decided. During the question hour, the parliamentary member asks question to get the information on the working of government. This is how the parliament controls the executives. Through the medium of questioning, the member draw the attention of the government towards its loopholes. Loopholes means mistakes. In this way, the government comes to know how the views and opinion of the people through the representatives. It is very important responsibility of the member to question the government. The opposition party play a very important role to have the effective administration of a democracy, and it highlights the loopholes in the policy and programs of the government. The person who presides the session in Lok Sabha is known as the speaker. And here we wind up this chapter. I hope you have understood the real importance of parliament in a democratic country. And before going to end this video, I must tell you I have given some topics to my students, and here they are saying something very informative about their topics. I hope you like it. If you like it, don't forget to just hit the like button so that they can get the motivation from your side. Alright, so let's get started.
Hello guys, myself Disha Prajapati, and today I will tell you something about our Indian constitution, its need, its importance and its feature. So let's start. The definition of constitution is the systematic application of set of rules held the government of a country is known as constitution of a country. A constitution is set of rules and laws help the government to run the administration smoothly. The constitution of our country is the longest written constitution in the world. Then the Constitutional Assembly was established and started working from 9 December 1946. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was known as the father of Indian Constitution. He was the main person behind framing of Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution adopted on 26 November 1949, but it came in force on 1950. So let's discuss why we need constitution. We need constitution to regulate the system that prevails in our country. No country can function without a constitution. Without constitution, citizens are not about to follow any rules and regulations. It creates various problems which is undesirable for any country. So hence we need constitution. The National Constitution Day is celebrated on 26th November 19 every year. So let's discuss the features of our constitution. There are many features in our constitution like federalism, secularism, democratic rule and fundamental rights. So first feature is democratic rule. Democratic rule means rule by the people, in which the common people hold political power. They elect their leaders. Generally, in our country, elections were held in every 5 years. This is called democratic rule. The second feature is secularism. Secularism refers to the separation of power. Separation of power. Every citizen has a right to follow his or her choice of religion. Fundamental rights. The last feature of constitution is fundamental right. Fundamental right defined as the basic human rights for all citizens. The fundamental rights are equality before the law, freedom of speech and expression, freedom of religion, freedom of association and peaceful assembly, and freedom of constitutional remedies for protection against civil rights. I hope you like this video and this topic. Thank you for watching my video.
So hello guys, I am Mandeep Kumar. Today I am telling you something about earthquake and volcano. What is earthquake? Earthquake means the shaking of the earth's surface. It is a sudden tremble of the surface of the earth. Earthquakes certainly are a tremble of natural disaster. Earthquake can cause huge damage to life and property. Some earthquakes are weak in nature and probably go unnoticed. In contrast, some earthquakes are major and violent. These major earthquakes are always also devastating in nature. So what makes them so dangerous? There are four types of earthquake. First is tectonic earthquake. The earth crust comprises of slab of rocks of in uneven surface. These slab of rocks called tectonic plates. There is energy stored here. This energy causes tectonic plates to push away from each other towards each other. The second one is volcano earthquake. This earthquake is related to volcano. Earthquake can cause huge damage to life and property. Some earthquakes are weak in nature and probably go unnoticed. In contrast, some earthquakes are major and violent. These major earthquakes are almost always devastating in nature. This is what makes them so dangerous. There are four types of earthquake. First is tectonic earthquake. The earth crust comprises of the slab of the uneven space. The slab of tectonic plates. There is energy stored here. This energy causes the tectonic plates to push away from each other and towards each other. Second one is volcano earthquake. This earthquake is related to volcano. Above all, the magnitude of such earthquakes is weak. These earthquakes are two types. First one is volcano tectonic earthquake. These earthquakes is causes due to the inject of magma, releasing of magma. Second one is long time earthquake. These earthquake is due to the pressure among changes the earth layer. Third one is collapse earthquake. This earthquake occurs due to the caving and mines. This earthquake is weak in magnitude, and this earthquake is causes collapse of mines. Fourth one is explosive earthquake. This earthquake is causes due to the testing of nuclear bomb. When the nuclear bomb tested, they causes huge damage and they causes earthquake.
Hello everyone, I am Ayush Nerola. Today I am going to speak something about the condition of peasant and agriculture during the British rule. As per the topic, the meaning of peasants is farmer. So let's start. So in British era, they got a new idea and opportunity to increase their wealth with the help of Diwani rights of Bihar, Bengal and Odisha. As per the Diwani rights, they started to exploit peasants by earning more revenue, by which farmers became poorer. To pay the revenue, they have to sell their jewelries and ornaments. After that, to pay the revenue, some farmers had borrow money from money lenders, which became debt trap for them. Farmers lost their lands and agricultures, suffered in many regions of India. More even, Bengal became the victim of famine in the year 1770, in which lakh of people died due to starvation. Lord Cornwallis, who was the Governor General of India, wants to enforce Permanent Settlement Act in order to collect revenue. As per this act, the company fixed revenue on the basis of annual income. The landlords have permanent right. Of land and revenue correction. This is how a class of landlords loyal to the company was created. Against the farmer who work hard in a hot sun and cultivate land and grow crops were exploited. So this is the condition of peasants and agriculture during the British rule. I hope you like this video. So please like, share and comment, subscribe this video, and thank you.